The birds were chirping, the sun rays were peeking through the curtains, and inside the cozy bedroom, Jungkook was admiring his beauty while placing the hands on his wife's eyes not to disturb her sleep. It has been 7 years since they got tied into the sacred bond of marriage, but the love between them was still alive and even growing as time was passing. His hands was going to kiss her cheek, but Jungkook, his 5-year-old son, snuggled into Wyan even more as he slept between them mostly. He's such a bully to his father. He pouted looking at the sleepy duo for some time, then got up from the bed. Placing a soft kiss on her forehead, he went to the bathroom while sun rays now disturbing Wyan, and she finally opened her eyes. Good morning, bunny. Get up, baby. 5 minutes more. He even placed his legs on her torso and kissing his hair. Wyan was laying peacefully when bathroom door opened. Jungkook's eyes met with his wife and she passed him a beautiful smile. Get him up. Bunny, it's wakey time or you will get late for school. Massaging his eyes with a small fist, he finally got up and kissed Wyan's cheeks while Jungkook was seeing everything from the mirror as he was tying the tie around his shirt. Stop kissing my wife. She's my mama. He even kisses her more while showing his tongue playfully to Jungkook, and Wyan couldn't help but giggle seeing them bickering because it was every next 2 days drama. Mama, let's go. Wyan took Jungkook in her arms and walked inside the bathroom to give him a shower. Sometime later, she came out partially wet while Jungkook was wrapped by the towel. Leaving him to her husband, she walked inside again as Jungkook was the one who changed his uniform and got him ready for the school. Anything else? He asked, placing everything inside Jungkook's bag neatly. You forgot the song's USB, Dad? Oh yeah. He took the USB from the table and placed it inside his small bag, and he had an upcoming dance competition. Then holding Jungkook's hand, the father and son duo came downstairs for breakfast. Soon, Wyan also joined them and the small family had a great time with each other. Later, 3 of them took their leave for school and office to start the hectic day. Wyan was the CEO of her father's company and Jungkook was the head of managing team. He was honest and hardworking, and that was the reason Wyan's father chose Jungkook for her, and she accepted the proposal gladly. Is your presentation ready? Yeah, I edited some parts you told me. Good. In the office, they work like professionals and work with transparency. Both of them got inside the meeting room confidently for an important project. Hello, Mr. Allen. She shook hands with him before taking her head chair, and Jungkook placed the USB inside the projector. As the lights got turned off, everyone's eyes at the screen, but shockingly, there were kindergarten songs playing on the screen. It was hard for other employees to control their smile while Jungkook, Wyan, and Mr. Allen was in a huge shock and lights got turned on. Jungkook? He immediately turned off the projector and looked at the USB. Now he realized that his USB got swapped with his son accidentally. Mrs. Jeon, is this a joke to you? Of course not, Mr. Allen. I think there is some problem. She was embarrassed and looked at Jungkook with helpless, questionable eyes. Jungkook, where is presentation? I mistakenly got the wrong CD with me. Wyan looked at him in disbelief, and hearing this, Mr. Allen got up angrily. I don't think I should work with a company who is not serious about their clients. Mr. Allen, please, I'm sorry, but this is my last decision. He walked away with his team, and Wyan diverted her attention to Jungkook furiously. What the heck was that, Jungkook? How could you make such a big mistake? I'm sorry. Sorry? You have an idea what blunder you did? How important is that deal for the company? Jungkook looked down as he was at fault while the employees were looking at them with surprise because nothing happened something like this before in 7 years. I shouldn't have trusted you at first place and give this responsibility to someone responsible. Throwing the files angrily, she took her leave and giving sympathy to Jungkook, the other employees too. A loner tear left from Jungkook's eyes and he looked at her chair sadly. I'll crack this deal, Wyan, I promise. He wiped his tears when he got the call from his son's teacher and controlling himself, he answered the call. Hello? Dad, I'm Gook. You know you gave me the wrong USB. Please come with my song USB, please. Okay, I'm coming. Taking the USB and the important papers, he took his leave without informing Ryan. It was lunchtime and Ryan was waiting for Jungkook, but there was no trace of him as they had lunch together always, and finally asked about him to her secretary. Mr. John is in his cabin, ma'am. Okay, she remembered what happened this morning and letting out a heavy breath, she called Jungkook, but he didn't answer. Did I went too far? Now she was feeling more guilty for shouting at him. She kept asking about Jungkook, but he didn't come back to the office, so she took her leave early too. Mr. Jeon dropped Cook, then left again, ma'am. Oh, okay. She realized they were not alone and she let out at him. She must be right as a transparent boss, but she couldn't deny the fact he was her husband who loved her the most. I need to make it up. Seeing Jungkook playing with the maids, she went to the room and changed into comfy clothes when her phone buzzed. Surprisingly, it was Mr. Allen's call. Congratulations, Mrs. Jeon. We are looking forward to working with you. Huh? Your husband is a hard-working man and really convinced us that your company is the best to work with. Ryan's chest tightened and she bit her lower lip to prevent herself from crying. It will be an honor to work with you, Mr. Allen. See you soon, Mrs. Jeon. With that, the call disconnected and Ryan's tears finally poured on her cheeks. I'm sorry, my love. Wiping her tears, she came to the kitchen and made his favorite dishes. She immediately wanted to clear everything as she couldn't stand his ignorance because it was killing her from inside. It was already 8, but Jungkook was not at home and his phone was also unreachable, which was making her tense, so only Jungkook had dinner. Mama, where is Dad? He'll be late today. He should sleep. I think he's upset, Mama. Why? Did he say something? Actually, he came to give me my song USB at school and he was not cheerful at all. Did something happen, Mama? No, everything is fine. It's just today your dad has some workload. Jungkook nodded, then Ryan rested his head on her lap and made him sleep. The maid took Jungkook to his room and Ryan stayed alone at the living area. It was past 9 when Jungkook finally entered the mansion and Ryan immediately hugged him tightly, but he didn't. You can at least leave a message for me about your whereabouts? She finally calmed after seeing him fine and scooted away to look at him, but he was avoiding eye contact. Jungkook, I'm tired. At least have dinner. I already have. He lied, getting straight to the stairs, and Ryan knew it. She also came to the room and heard shower noise. Soon Jungkook came in his loose hoodie and lay on the bed without glancing at her. His back was facing her and she went near him while placing her hand on his tattooed arm. Jungkook, I'm sorry. He didn't say anything but closed his eyes. He was hurt and she could feel it. I know I shouldn't have reacted such way. Please forgive me. He remained silent and she shifted near him even more. At least look at me. Hearing her breaking voice, Jungkook turned around as he couldn't let her cry no matter what. Please don't cry because of me. I'm not angry but just hurt. You shouldn't have said that I'm not trustworthy. She could see his eyes getting moistened and the next moment his breath hitched when Ryan slid herself inside his loose hoodie and looked at him. Ryan? I was angry at the moment and didn't realize what I said, but it's also a truth. I trust you the most. I can never intentionally say that to you, Jungkook. She placed her lips on his eyes one by one for a kiss and wiped his loner tear with her thumb. I realized my behavior was not appropriate and because of that, I'm drowning in guilt. Please forgive me, Jungkook. Jungkook finally wrapped his arms around her and looked into her eyes with emotions. I forgive you, my wife, but I'm sorry too. I should be more careful or else this wouldn't happen, and I promise I will not repeat the mistake. He placed his lips on her cheek while stopping her moving further due to the situation they were in. I trust you, and I also promise too that I will try to be calm and never let our professional life to impact our personal life. I trust you too. He smiled while massaging her back gently. But don't ignore me like that ever again, Jungkook. You have no idea how hard it was for me to breathe. She was again ready to cry when Jungkook pulled her closer to him and her face nuzzled in his neck crook. I won't, I promise. Are we good now? Yeah, then let's go for the dinner. I know you are hungry. Jungkook chuckled and she got off his hoodie. Both of them went downstairs and had dinner peacefully. Now maids were gone, so Payan was washing the dishes and Jungkook was hugging her from behind while placing soft kisses on her neck. How did you convince Mr. Allen? I went to his office to talk and he agreed because of my convincing and great idea power. I'm proud of you. She kissed his cheek and cleaned her hand. She gasped suddenly when Jungkook took her in his arm and went upstairs. Jungkook, our son really gave us some privacy and I don't want to waste this amazing opportunity.